the more you let go, the more you'll receive. The less you try and control and manipulate a situation, the better it's going to go for you. But you have to trust that letting go is in your benefit. What up, my beautiful human? My beautiful humans. So I know this is a time. I know this is a time of a lot of uncertainty. It's really scary. And we feel like we've lost control. And I want to present an idea to you surrounding the idea of uncertainty, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, or losing control, or just, like feeling like we're not in control, like things are going crazy and we can't stand it. The fear of the unknown is so major for all of us. And what I really want to talk about is that this isn't new. The fear of uncertainty isn't new. The fear of the unknown, things changing, maybe it's a fear of change really instead of the unknown, is all these things. Change has always been happening. It's always been a thing for us. But what this corona chaos has unveiled is really nothing safe. And that sounds incredibly scary, but I want you to rethink it as incredibly freeing. Because what this is really doing is revealing the truth. It's revealing that none of us are really in control, right? I know dentists who, is out of work. Like, dentists weren't making money for a certain amount of time, and they still aren't in some places. Like, I know non-essential doctors who were laid off. Doctors have been laid off. Nurses came into cities expecting, massive amounts of cases to be there. In some small cities, they weren't there, so they were laid off after a couple weeks. So doctors, nurses, dentists, and then also I know some attorneys, like personal injury attorneys. There's not as many injuries happening. There's not as many accidents happening. This kind of sounds like a good thing to me, right? But no matter what the case, like, why I'm bringing this up is because all these safe jobs, I actually know someone in the news industry, an anchor, their salary's been cut because there's not as many advertisers now being able to afford or want to pay during this time. So if you look at like a news anchor at a very prestigious company, you look at a doctor, you look at a nurse, you look at an attorney, if they're losing their jobs, no one's safe. So this illusion of security, that's what I really want to bring to light, is that the illusion of security, because security isn't real, control isn't real, it's all an illusion that we've believed up until this point. And that might sound scary, it might sound frightening, and it might even sound fear-based to say that there isn't control, but to me it's incredibly freeing, because then you stop looking for control, you stop looking for security, you stop waiting for someone to take care of you, you just start to flow, you start to accept the moment. So of all of these jobs that we've been told for a lifetime, for all of our lives, we've told that it's safe, we're told that it's secure, only to realize that technically it's not. And more than just this, pandemic, it's more than that. What it's revealed is, it's revealed the truth that we don't have control. So I invite you to think that it's actually quite freeing, because when we try and control something, we get so tight and we try and hold it, and we're clenched, right? We're white knuckling it, quite literally. But then when you let go, the more you let go, for me personally at least, the more I tend to let go, the more I receive. And it's frightening, and I totally get it, and I totally get that it's scary, because I felt it, I still feel it. But I invite you to think that the more you let go, the more you'll receive. The less you try and control and manipulate a situation, the better it's going to go for you. But you have to trust that letting go is in your benefit. And that's the test, that's the challenge, that's the exercise or the lesson, whatever you're learning in life, is usually when we're controlling something, we are afraid of losing it, we're afraid of the change, we're afraid of the unknown, like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? But change is inevitable, the unknown is inevitable, we really don't control a thing. Like literally, this tree could fall down right now. Like I don't control that. Like, I know those are radical examples, but a radical example just literally happened with this pandemic. Like, no one would have imagined this happening, but it's real. And I hope this pain, because this is a painful time for a lot of us, I hope this pain can serve a purpose. And I hope the purpose that it serves is that nothing is certainty. Certainty is a myth, and that can provide some freedom for you so you stop controlling. We stop trying to hold on to something and just let it go, because both things are hard. Whether it's you're holding on or letting go, both of these are hard, but holding on is the harder, it's the more difficult choice. Trying to hold on, trying to control, trying to manipulate things to go the way that you think they need to go is much more difficult than just letting it go and accepting what comes, and it often turns out better than you could have imagined. It's going to turn out better than you could have imagined if you just let it go. So really we have two options, and I want you to think of a very scary situation of what could happen. You could lose your job, you could get sick, you could end up in the hospital, you could lose your house, you could, like, what other terrible things can we imagine? You lose your lover, what other things, like you get depressed, whatever, like those things will lead to depression. Like whatever terrible thing that you can imagine, I want you to think of right now. For real, I want you to think about it. What's the worst case scenario? What absolutely terrifies you? I want you to think about that. And now, I want you to think of something that absolutely excites and expands you. You get your dream job. You are in a harmonious, just expansive, amazing relationship, like a loving and fun relationship. You have fun every day. Maybe you get to go to the beach or the mountains or travel. You get to help people. You get to make money with ease. You get to eat all the food that you want. You don't have to stress about anything. Both of these scenarios that I've described, or whatever you thought of, right? You have the worst case scenario, you have the best case scenario. Both of these aren't real. Both of these scenarios are not real. The worst case scenario hasn't happened. The best case scenario hasn't happened. So why I say that we have two options. Control is an illusion. Like, belief is everything. Like, we could go down a rabbit hole of belief technically isn't real, right? Like, we have two options. The worst case scenario, the best case scenario. Both of these circumstances haven't happened. So if you call someone crazy for saying, wow, this is just a pipe dream, Ben. What you want to happen, what you're dreaming, what you're trying to manifest, what you're calling into your life, what you're praying to God about, that is a pipe dream, and that's not real, and that's not realistic. If you say that isn't, then this is also just as unrealistic. So if you say to someone, this is crazy for believing this, for hoping, for wishing for this, then you're also saying the same thing about thinking and or maybe trying to resist or whatever, saying plan for the worst case scenario. It's just as crazy. So we are just as crazy for trying to believe and thinking this is the worst case scenario is going to happen, and we're just as crazy for thinking this scenario is going to happen. Both are fake, both are unrealistic. What do you choose? The choice is yours. And I bring this up because this is a magnificent tool and a magnificent exercise to realize that the thing that you're absolutely worried about changing, or the unknown, isn't real, and the best case scenario is also not real. And you get to choose. It's a perception. Both don't exist. You get to choose what you want to believe. You have a choice. I know what I'm choosing. I'm choosing this one. Because we're crazy either way. Both things are real. So I'm going to choose to focus on the one that serves me, and because I know that what we focus on comes into our life, even though it hasn't happened yet. If you're saying the best case scenario is crazy and that can't happen, you're also saying that about the worst case scenario. So I invite you to think about that. And I want to know, like, tell me in the comments, send me a message. Which one do you choose? Like, I want to know which scenario you're going to choose. Are you going to choose the one that serves you? Because you have a belief, you have a choice. It's up to you. Which one do you choose? What's up, beautiful human? If you enjoyed that video, I invite you to join the Freedom School. The Freedom School is a private group for members, and it's for people just like you, focused on growth-minded individuals and heart-centered. So we want to grow, we want to evolve, and we're heart-centered and loving all at the same time. So if that sounds like you, then I invite you to join the Freedom School. Every single week we meet as a group and we have group coaching calls, whether it's with me or a guest expert talking about the fear that we deal with, in our love and relationships. Whether it's how to find our purpose, whether it's how to break through limiting beliefs, or how to really create our ideal life and write powerful affirmations. We are teaching you all of these lessons. So if you are ready to change, if you are ready to invest in your growth, then I invite you to join me and the amazing other students at the Freedom School. The link is in the bio, it's in my description, or go to feeling-free.com/membership to sign up. I'll see you there, my amazing human. And I love you. I believe in you. Anything is possible. You get to choose what to believe in. I'm just so friggin', man. I believe in you so much. I believe in me. I believe in all of us. And I'm just sitting here, looking at myself, I guess now, but in this area that I'm in. Anything is possible. I'm astounded. And the world is amazing if we choose to believe it. Nothing is, if we choose our beliefs, we choose what's real. Man, and I hope you get to choose. I hope you just crack that window, because that's all it takes is a crack in the window. A crack in your heart, in your soul, in your belief, to realize that you can do anything, you can change your life, you can transform it. I've witnessed it for myself, I've witnessed it with other people, and pretty quickly. But you just have to take the chance. You have to take the chance on you. Even though you may not totally believe it, and it seems like a pipe dream, like I've told you before. You have two options, and you get to choose which one. And I hope you choose the one that brings you joy, because anything is possible. For real, I believe in you. I love you so much. Follow on Instagram if you're not already, at The Fear Guy, and DM me if you have any questions. Let me know how I can help you. I hope I see you in the Freedom School. I hope I see you in our retreats that we're having in the future, so we can actually have human-to-human connection. Man, I wish the best for you. I can say this a million times, but I truly do believe in you. I love you. You're amazing.